Oh boy, do we have some volatility today, guys. We got to break that down in this video. We also have to go over some stocks that I'm looking at, 3 in particular, and maybe we'll do some bonus ones at the end of the video, so make sure you guys stick on throughout. So sit back, relax, take a sip of your coffee. Do not forget to get your 13 stocks from Moomoo with a $100 deposit. Each of those could be up to $2,000, linked right down below, and feel free to also subscribe to my second channel called Stocks Talks Money. Guess what? That's also linked down below. And with that being said, let's dive into the video. So it's about 1 p.m. on the East Coast, and look at this volatility. And mind you, the VIX is, funny enough, down on the day so far. The VIX is at 2430. It is down about 1.3%. And we had SPY ripping up until about 11 a.m. That was about 2 hours ago. And then at about 11:15, 20, SPY went from about 401 tanked to about 395 as I'm choking on the mic, guys. That's a drop of about 1.3%. And since that point where it tanked, it's recovered a bit. It's gone from 395. Now it's hovering at about 397, 398. So what I'm looking at here, potentially forming, if, big if, SPY is unable to break out of 398, 398.50, what I'm seeing here is an inverse, or not even an inverse, a regular head and shoulders. You guys see this? Let me show you right here. You guys see that left shoulder in the pre-market, the head as we peaked at 400 this morning, and, or well, I guess this afternoon, depending on where you are, where you're looking at it, either way. And we have the right shoulder right here as we're failing at about 398. This is a head and shoulders in the making. Now, if we do break 398, 399, and back over, especially 400, the head and shoulders goes out the window. The bulls will be taking advantage at that point. They'd be, they'd be at a good point, but we're not there yet at all. In fact, again, we're clearly getting rejected at this neckline, so be mindful of that on SPY, and not to mention the 20-day chart, which I've talked about time and time again on the channel. We're clearly still on a downtrend, even though we're now slightly above the moving averages. You guys see that here. We're still under the highs from the 2nd of this month, just 6 days ago. That was last week, and clearly we're still on a downtrend if I draw out this trend line. And it's the same thing on triple Q. You guys can see still in a downtrend on the 20-day chart. That's very obvious. And on the intraday, what do we have here? This is a head and shoulders actually within the intraday action, not even looking at pre-market, whereas SPY's left shoulder was in the pre-market. I guess that's a pretty interesting difference here. But overall, head and shoulders, clear as day on triple Q, and we're now getting rejected at that neckline, right around 298.99, right about at this 180 SMA on the intraday chart. So triple Q's really gotta, if you're a bull here, it's gotta break out of 300, 301, and go and take those highs out from earlier today, right about at a little under $302 a share. So I believe we got some news. And I don't have too much on this right now, guys, but we recently got some news about a 75, let me see here. Fed's Evans said we could very well do a 75 basis point hike in September. My mind is not made up on September. I guess they're thinking about a 75, but they're not fully made up on it. And that kind of coincides. Actually, does it even? I don't think so, actually. That might be one of the reasons why we started to see some selling recently, but it's just a volatile day. Overall, it's a volatile day in the markets, and funny enough, we have a lot of green stocks, where we have all the indexes pretty much down with some volatility. We have a lot of green stocks. We have Snapchat up almost 8%. And now Snapchat, if I pull this up and pull up the 4-hour, and mind you, on the intraday, you guys are seeing Snapchat is crushing it. Just yesterday at the lows, it was at 10.75, and we're now well over 12. I mean, this thing is up 15% in just the past 24 hours, if that, 26 hours, whatever it is. So this is doing well in the short term. And if we pull up the 4-hour and zoom in, we are now approaching a massive resistance. And have I not mentioned this time and time again on the channel, guys. And let me get some coffee. My voice keeps cracking up on me. Hold up. Jeez, hit the like button, guys. Oh, my God. Yeah, we've talked about this time and time again on the channel. $13, that was the resistance from the middle of last month. So about 3 weeks ago. Now my nose is itching me like crazy. And we're not editing this video, by the way. And there goes my voice again. $13. You got to watch that on Snapchat, guys. If it breaks that point, which I have a feeling we're going to do it. Momentum's been kicking in here since about a week ago, a little over a week ago, and when it was at 877. Now it's at 1230. You got to realize, guys, this stock's up 40% in the past couple of days. Clearly, momentum's kicking in. So if we break $13, I mean, I don't see a resistance coming up until the mid-15s initially, followed by about $17 a share. And I'm sorry, excuse me for continuously itching my freaking nose, guys. But yeah, I feel like that is where this could be going. And here we go again, itching the nose. So Snapchat, you got to watch it. Adobe is another one you have to watch. Ticker symbol ADBE. And this is one that I would love for it to crash through the floor. I would love to get Adobe at 300, under 300. And I mentioned this one in my morning video today on Patreon. If you guys want to check that out, shameless plug, that is linked down below. I talked about how 5 stocks I want, as we're in this bear market, and at some point we will be back in a bull market. Nobody knows when that's going to happen. But as we're in this bear market, I mentioned in that morning video how I want my 5 stocks that I'm building up the most in this bear market going into the next bull market. I would love for them to include Adobe and Nvidia. That's another one, which these are the 2 out of the 5 that I don't own, and the other 3 are Google, Alphabet, Meta, and Disney. Those are 3 that I'm rocking with right now, that I'm going into the next bull market full-fledged in those. And I'd love to make the other 2 be Nvidia and Adobe if the price gets right. And I've said this time and time again, Nvidia, that'd be anywhere from 100, 120. Adobe, I'd like to see close to 300, preferably even under 300. The lower, the better. And, those are the 5 stocks that I'd be extremely confident in having the most money in. And I'm not an all-stock investor. I've said this before, but for all the new viewers out there, I have a lot of money in ETFs, VOO, VXUS, VOT, and that's a good bulk, or, a decent chunk, I'd say, of my portfolio. But with my individual stocks, I own like 10, 15, however it may be. But my top 5, my core, I'd want to be Adobe, Nvidia, Google, Meta, and Disney. These are 5 companies that I love, and I think they'll do very well. They'll be great investments over the next couple of years, and that's where money's made, guys. That's where money's made during a bear market, and who knows, we might be in the 3rd inning. It could get way worse here. In a bear market, you got to pick up companies that you want to hold for the long term, because a lot of the time they're at discounts. They're at values that they usually wouldn't be at, normally wouldn't be at, right? So Adobe, I'm looking at it here. I want it to come lower, first of all, like I said, but as a trade, it looks decent. If we do end up bouncing up and we don't go lower, which is possible, not everything goes out as planned or goes according to plan. But if we do end up breaking past, I'd say, these moving averages, especially above 390 and above 400, there could be a big reversal coming up in the short term here for Adobe. And again, this is for a trade, not as a long-term investment, because it's not at the price that I'd want to pay for a long-term investment. So Adobe, if it breaks 390, 400, I mean, the chart shows it could start running lower mid 400s. I mean, over time. It's not necessarily for sure going to happen, but that's what I'm looking out for. And another stock here is Coinbase, which with today's move 2%, is it breaking out yet? Not there yet. It's not there yet, but it's getting pretty dang close, guys. Look at that. Coinbase is above over 2% on the day moving, and it's now, gapped up. It gapped up this morning above the 50 SMA, and now we're getting pretty dang close to that 180, which is at about $72, $74. So I'm telling you all, watch out. If we do break mid-70s, low mid-70s on Coinbase, Even though I don't like it as a long-term investment, the risk is too high for me. As a short-term trade, I would be all for that. I think Coinbase would be great above 72 to about 75 bucks. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. We could talk for way more. We could talk all day, but I'm going to keep it short, sweet, and simple for this video. So I appreciate you all for tuning in, joining, subscribing, doing all that good stuff. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button and check out my Patreon. And do not forget to get your 13 stocks from Moomoo with a $100 deposit. Each of those could be up to $2,000, and you could also get 12 stocks from Webull with any amount deposited. All those free stocks are linked down below, and just know, guys, all those links help out the channel. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Cheers. Thanks for watching as always. Peace out.